And we're live.
Welcome back here, folks, to yet another episode of The Corner. Sitting up here in like 110 degrees Celsius, not Celsius, 110 degrees Fahrenheit up in my loft here, because the sun is like just heating up the upper part of my house like it's a baking oven. So I really appreciate you for watching, and we have my friend here and fellow partner in crime, Troy Tortuga Trostrup, back from vacation. Say hello, Trostrup.
Yeah, hello. I just spent another week out in a summer house, which one of my friends' parents owns, and we were out there with four guys, three other guys, and then me, and then we were just like playing board games, doing CrossFit, running, playing Jackbox, drinking whiskey and beer, and all that nice stuff that guys do when they're away for a week. And man, I gotta say, I'm fucking refreshed now. I am fucking ready, blasted in life, and I am fucking ready to come up with new interesting topics for you guys here on the corner to entertain you. And that's it. We want to entertain you, maybe educate and inform you a little bit, but mainly what we want to do is entertain you guys out there.
Yeah, that's for sure, man. This podcast is for you guys. And also us, of course. But yeah, because we are, in the end, we are just two guys talking.
Yeah, of course. That's it. That's where we are.
That's the whole YouTube channel. So whether it is like my partner here, Trostrup, or another random guy or a friend of mine, then it's still just two guys talking, and we talk about interesting stuff, right?
Oh yeah. By the way, can you hear my fan turning around right now?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Like if now I turned it off, do you hear anything now? Is there a difference to before?
No. There's like no difference.
I'll just turn it on then, because it's fucking hot as shit.
Yeah, just keep it on. Just keep it on. The audio is fine. So yeah, man, you talked about like you've been to the summer house with the guys, blowing up some steam for the last week.
Yeah, not as much blowing of steam in the conventional sense. What you would think, like when people go out into town, like The Hangover, and just like fucking blow up the town. Not like that. No, we have been blowing up of steam in a civilized manner. By like playing board games. Mainly that's what we have mainly been doing for the past week.
I like that. So so there was like nobody getting shit-faced and waking up with hangovers.
Oh no! Oh no! All right, we got shit-faced, all right. But the hangovers were much better than if you had been out on town. They were much more controlled. The hangovers, like we slept until 11 a.m. in the evening every in the morning, 11 a.m. in the morning. That's the beautiful thing about the English language. You don't have to say in the evening or in the morning, because if you say AM, then it is already the morning. So yeah, we slept until then. We slept until 11 AM every morning, and it was just a much more controlled hangover than what you have when you go out on the city and swing your dick, basically.
yeah, for sure. Do you know what AM and PM actually stands for, by the way?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's after midday and post mid. No, wait. After midnight and post midday, I think.
Yeah, that is what it means, but I don't know, what it means. Yeah, it means after midnight and past midday. Past midday, yeah. After midnight and past midday. It's pretty cool that that they have that. So like if you call 1 in the morning, it's not 1 in the night, and it's 1 in the morning. It's 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
That's kind of like funny. But anyways, back to what you were like saying. Yeah, because there's clearly a difference from going out on the town, because then you would have gone to like a Vorspiel, had some beers and shots with some people.
Oh yeah,
Then
you
you
have to
go out.
explain what a Vorspiel is, because not a lot of people in America know
Okay.
the Norwegian slang Vorspiel. It's like in Denmark we call that Forfest, which is
Yeah.
basically like a
It's,
pre-party, like a pre, like you have
I
you have the same thing in America and
I
everywhere in the world.
think I think like it is more a heavy thing in Norway than in Denmark,
No, no, no,
because there's
no. We have
still.
it. No, no, no. We have it here too. Like
Yeah,
definitely,
okay,
you
okay,
show up here. You show up at like 4 in the in the
yeah.
afternoon, and then you like have pre-drinks. You play some drinking
I
games with people in their apartments, and
I
then
still
you go to the main party at like 7 or something like that.
I still don't get it, because you have that, right, and you still like have the culture of going out on discos and bars and pubs and stuff, right? And
Yeah.
but the difference is that, like, it seems like the Danish people are like more civilized, because in Norway, when shit hits the fan and people go out on Friday to blow off this steam and shit, right? There is just like violence,
Yeah.
beatdowns, muggings, right? And I don't really know the statistics, but it feels like that 90% of these altercations happens in some fucking taxi line, waiting for a taxi. Then you have some fucking drunk dude or something saying, "Hey, that's my motherfucking cab," boom, right? And then a left swing or right swing or upper hook or whatever, right? Fight started. Um,
Yeah.
the like yeah, I've like read you the newspaper from my hometown on like a Sunday, where it's always like, been a busy night, blah blah blah, 5 incarcerations there, drunken arrest, blah, and so on. And like this is for a pretty small town, like 30,000 population. So what the fuck?
Yeah.
But still, like, like, I don't see that kind of aggression in Denmark. And
Yeah,
like,
we got it too here, but like
yeah, I know,
it's probably less in
yeah,
public.
I
It's probably more subtle, I guess. I don't
I
know.
think so. I think so too. But like in, I was having a theory on this. Like, and I would like say, could it be that Norwegians are under a higher pressure than Danish people, regarding that you need to earn so much fucking money, to
Yeah.
maintain the standard of living, to buy these houses at like 500,000 plus dollars, etc., etc., right?
Yeah, yeah, could be.
Because, like, like that's what I was like feeling like. And like the last time you were on, we were talking about that I had some family members over, that was compensating a shit
Oh
ton
yeah.
for how much, like, like having to blow in my face, like how much they were earning, how much, like the car was costing, and how much the house was, and so on.
Yeah, I
And
remember that. That was the corner episode 15. If you haven't heard that, people go back and watch that. It's the one that's called "Back Again, Refreshed with Tranquility," and you could say pretty much the same thing for this episode. We were talking a lot about that there. And yes, that is true. Like there's a lot of people, but then again, yeah, we can reiterate a little bit about what that was about. We talked about how people have different needs, and how society as a whole has a lot of different needs. But
yeah,
that basically that the we talked about Maslow's pyramid of needs, and how the top layer of the pyramid is what most people in Scandinavia are aiming to achieve, whereas other countries are like just literally trying to get by with the lower layers, and we're just trying to cling to the top layer, trying to always expand that top layer
But
out.
that's still like creating pressure. And,
Yeah, it is completely.
On Monday, there is also coming out a very special episode on the McAllister Hours podcast with the Corner as a guest, where we talk a little bit about this, and I'm like mentioning how social media like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter has become some sort of like measuring tool to say what happiness is.
Yeah. Okay.
And
have you recorded that already, or when is it?
that is recorded. He recorded it. It's coming out on Monday at 7 our time.
Yeah. All right. So they will be editing it probably tonight. Probably there's probably one of their guys sitting right now with sweat on his stern, like saying, gotta keep this deadline. Oh no.
yeah, probably. But yeah, that was like pretty mellow and chill one. Like we were both having beers when we were recording it.
Yeah. Okay. No. Then I withdraw my previous previous statement there. No. Then he won't be sitting there. Then we will probably just be chilling like we are right now, just sitting there.
Yeah.
Like just putting some shit together. Right.
We were having beers, and he forgets to hit the record button again because we were having some connection issues, right? And so like after what must have been like 30 minutes or so, then it's like, oh shit, man, I have forgot to hit the button. Did you record by any chance?
Wow.
And like I didn't mind. I was like, I was just thinking, whatever the hell, like I'll just have another beer and we can keep going, because I felt like the chemistry was like really good, and it was just like a good talk.
And that's the most important thing. Like, as long as you're having a good time, then what the fuck, man? Who cares? It ain't like
who cares?
Ain't like the shit is supposed to be in front of the World Congress or some bullshit, or in the United States Senate or whatever the fuck, man. We ain't politicians. We just some random speculators trying to like make people feel better, trying to like make people think. That's what we do. We make people think.
And this, like this is unbiased, or at least like we try to be unbiased.
Now, well, you can never be 100% unbiased, of course. Like, you will always have some degree of bias because you like everything is subjective. Like when it comes to persons, to individuals.
That's
true. But yeah, like we try to keep things as subjective as possible. Yeah.
Of course. But yeah, back to this. Like how social media is a measurement tool for happiness. Combined, like because like it's creating a higher pressure, and it's also like elevating the levels on that pyramid, Maslow's pyramid that we were talking about, because what you need to like reach those levels on the pyramid just becomes more and more and more. But it is in fact not really what you need, it's what you want, right?
No.
Because if we're like talking needs, then we're talking basics, then we're talking roof over your head, shelter, food, water, that kind of stuff. But yeah, definitely, like social media is helping to and abiding to create like a high pressure for what you supposedly need to be happy. Yeah. And this we have also talked about before, like how a kid in Africa that plays football, who doesn't have a phone, doesn't have internet, doesn't have shit, is more happy than any of us, because he knows he doesn't know what the fuck's out there. He doesn't know what exists.
No,
So,
definitely. Yeah, and that's that's a good point. Like, if you only have if you don't have anything else for entertainment than a football, then playing with that football on a field that is fucking shit compared to anything that we know in the Western culture, in the Western civilization. If you play on a football field that is dirt and where the fucking donkey has shit in the corner, but if you have that football and play on that field and you don't have anything else in for entertainment, then you're happy. You know,
yeah,
you're much happier than a guy who's sitting in his fucking giant ass mansion with gold sinks like Donald Trump or whatever the fuck, and then complaining about his fucking maid not ironing his shirts right because they fucking left a curly fold on their shirt, and damn, this fucking ruined my entire day.
yeah.
You know, the fucking contrast there in the happiness. If you only consider happiness, nothing else, the contrast there is just interesting. You know, in my opinion.
But
So,
that's also like something in that saying, you know, that you can't buy happiness with money. You can buy comfort, but you can't buy true happiness,
no, exactly.
because that's all a state of mind.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then it's like, how do you achieve that state of mind of happiness? Like, and I know my answer. I will reveal my answer in a minute. I won't rush to it. But I just want to hear how do you achieve that happiness state of mind?
I think it is like really, really difficult, because for one, you need to be content with what you have, right?
But how do you achieve that state of feeling content with what you have?
Then, you know, like, I would say, you know, like, if you're feeling shit about yourself and you're feeling sad and you're like feeling like I don't really have what I should have to be happy or something, right? Then you should, like, you know, review your life then, and then you should like think about, what do I have? Is my life really that motherfucking bad, right? And if you like, you know, like, I doubt that anybody would like reach that conclusion. Like, you know, like, you know what, my life is so fucking shit that I might as well go and jump over the Golden Gate Bridge right the fuck now, right?
Yeah, but like, I mean, like, let's take this more concrete. I mean, we're still kind of abstract as I see it right now. Let's try to dive more into like let's try to take it down on a daily basis level. Like, what do you do in the morning? Like, to anyone who is listening to this, like, when you wake up in the morning, what do you do in order to achieve that happiness on a given day, just on this day today, when they wake up at 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. or 6 a.m., whenever you wake up, and say, I want to make this day as happy as I can today? What do you do then?
Well, then I would like assume that, you know, like, then you're just, you know, not being a jerk for one, right? And you
oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Like, be nice to, like, just put on a smile, you know.
Be nice to everybody that's in your life that day, right?
Yeah.
And that's step number one. And then step number two is, you know, like, doing something with movement, whether it is like going for a walk or something, right? Or better yet, if you're not working, then chores. Do some chores around the house, right? Because, like, you know, it will also make you feel content with that you have felt that you did something productive that day.
And I gotta interject here the great quote from one of the very wise guys, although he's slightly rich, but that doesn't matter. Like, he still has a very good mindset when it comes to a lifestyle in general. Tony Robbins, emotion comes from motion. That's one of his great mottos in life, and because it's so true, you know, like, every emotion, every feeling in the world comes from motion, comes from moving. Like when you move through somewhere, if you like whatever motion you do, like whether it is CrossFit or you run or you do sit-ups, you do push-ups or whatever it is, or you do weight pressing, you will have some sort of emotional response to that. It's really that simple. And then, of course, it isn't. And there's training, workout routines, and all that stuff. There's planning that you have to do. But, like, at the end of the day, because we people, we like simple things. We like simplicity. So it's okay to say that just to have that motto, emotion comes from motion. Because then you know that is the truth. Yeah. That is the truth.
Like you can't be happy playing Minecraft 16 hours a day on a computer.
No, definitely.
Eating some pizza that comes to your door, and then going to bed. That would be like the recipe. That would be like the recipe for depression and possibly even suicide, right?
But like there are people who play Minecraft like probably 6 or 7 hours a day, and then they do something else for a few hours. They like play some other game, fucking StarCraft or Battlefront or whatever the fuck, and then for 2 hours, and they go back to Minecraft for 3 or 4 hours, and then they eat a pizza, and then they go to bed. Like, but that's also not a life. I mean, because that's still all games. That's still there's no motion. There's no motion in that. You know, there's nothing that can harvest an emotion.
That will make me depressive AF at least. But you know, like maybe in the future, like 100 years or so, you will be able to like take a fucking pill that keep you fit. Who knows?
Nah. I don't believe that. Nah, I don't believe that, because like I believe that the human body is destined, not just primed for it by nature, not just scientifically primed for it. I believe it is destined. Actually, and I want you to really think about this word, anyone who's listening, and also you, like think about this word, destined for exercise.
Yeah. But like
no, think about it. No, I don't want you to. I don't want you to respond right now. I just want you to think about this.
I think about it, and I know what you mean. You know, like the body is like, you know, like meant to move, right?
Yeah.
Which is like, you know, something. Let's get away from the future a little bit on that one, and then go to the past.
Yeah, all right. While you do that, I'll like get myself a glass of water. You can just
like you know, like imagine how it has been 50 years ago, or even 80 years ago, like say 90 or 70 years ago, like 1950. How much more people were walking around, you know, like, and in movement and motion and healthier diet, you know, as the access to junk food wasn't as great in the 1950s as it is in 2020, right? You couldn't just simply, you know, like you go to a McDonald's at the end of the corner or order some takeaway back then. Back then, it was more homemade food, vegetables, potatoes, carrots, and, you know, like meat from a butcher or something, right?
Yeah, all right. I'm back again. I missed that, but like I'm sure it was good.
Like I was just saying that in the 1950s, we were eating healthier. We were eating healthier as a general, and we were moving more because like it was sure as shit not normal, at least not in Europe, to have a car in the 1950s.
Like I don't know about that. I don't know if I can back that up with sources either. But it makes sense. Like with all the technology that has come that has been produced since then.
I can back that
has
up.
That has replaced human workforce, that human labor.
I can back that up with sources later in the description if you want. But but like, you know, like a lot of people is, for instance, like complaining today, like saying, "Oh my God, the fuel is so fucking expensive," right?
Yeah.
But it is not. It's actually cheap because it is nothing compared to what you would have to pay in 1950 for a liter or a gallon of fuel. It was way more expensive, man.
Yeah.
And this is like why, at least like from hearing my dad like talking about how it was to grow up in the 50s, that it was very few people that had cars. Like the people that had cars were people of like importance, like doctors, and principals at schools, right? These like high power status positions would be having cars, but like for the common man in the street, it was not a car, man. And then it was like either a bicycle or a bus, right?
Yeah.
But like still, it was like way more walking, and then it was like still way more home cooking meals and stuff.
There's actually there's actually an interesting article here that I just pulled up from saga.co.uk. I don't know if we'll get cited for this, but fuck it, we'll just throw this in there. So like you can see here, the 1950s healthy diet. Diet expert Judith Wills considers whether the British diet of the 50s and early 60s was healthier than today's diet.
Yeah, I believe so.
There's little, blah, blah, blah. Let's fucking see. Let's skim this article just quickly. What we ate in the 50s. Eating seasonally. Yeah. Right.
But yeah, because like I don't.
Yeah, okay. But basically, what she says, like, so was this a healthy diet or was it not? In many ways, yes. The plainness of the food meant that we were probably consuming many fewer calories and less fat and sugar than most people do today.
Yeah.
Also, portions were much smaller than most people eat now. I think everyone had got so used to rationing that it was hard to get out of this habit. So yeah,
I think so too. Sure.
There we have it. So like, just one random article pulled up on Google proves already this, that yes.
I was like trying to find like a picture, but I can't really find it. But like it was a picture of like what a shopping cart in 2020 would look like, and what a shopping cart in 1950 would look like, right? And in the shopping cart from 1950, there was like almost nothing. It was potatoes. There was like some vegetables, and it was some meat and some bread, right? And that's it. And then like some glass bottles of milk, since milk came in glass bottles then, right? And then compared to the picture of like what a normal family is in 2020, it is just like holy fucking shit. Because then you're like, I have like a shopping cart that is just bombed full with like, of course, like the food and stuff that you're going to eat, but also chips, frozen pizzas, candy, ice cream.
Yeah.
So wow. It is. So it is. So it is no wonder why we as a human race are now getting more and more overweight and more fat.
Yeah, because it's not only that, but it's also like, I think a huge part of that blame is to put on the increasing technology and the increasing amount of technology that is coming that has come into society in the last in just the last 20 years actually, like. The speed with which the technology has increased in our society today is like just unimaginable. Like, imagine over the past there has been more technology advancements in the past 20 years than in the 200 years before 1900, before the 1900th. Before the turn of the 1900th century, before the turn of the 20th century.
Okay, then I want you to explain to me this. What will happen in the horror scenario then, where this like technology progression is like continuing in the maniacally high pace it is going, and we will eventually like have a more and more automated jobs and higher unemployment worldwide? what the fuck's gonna happen to all those unemployed people?
They will end up on the streets. They will end up leading a revolution. No, well, they're like, that's the extreme case. Like, they will end up on the street. Like, if it's America, it depends on the political system. It depends on the amount of on the amount of government that is in place. Like, if there's a socialistic system like here in Denmark, people will be fine off because people will have the security net under them. They will be able to take jobs and still get paid. Like, they will be able to take these activation jobs, if you will, where you just get out into a factory. You just work there 4 hours a day and get like a very small salary, but you still keep over the fucking street level. You keep away from the fucking streets, man. You keep away from that American death, fucking terror of death that is over there, where there's fucking gangs raping each other and shit.
I'm just saying, like the governments should have a higher focus on this. Because that will eventually become a problem. So the governments should sort of put that in focus.
They need to put more money into these activity jobs that like only fucking employ people for 4 hours or 2 hours a day.
Not only that, man. They need to do like a full revision of like every motherfucking university course that's out there and college course, for instance. And figure out, is there actually jobs for a person that gets a bachelor degree in this? Is there actually jobs for a guy like spending 5 years of his life getting a master's degree in this shit, right?
Yeah.
Because I think that's many fucking worthless educations out there that offers that shit, right? And I was like touching base on that with Victor in that podcast yesterday, about how a friend of his that went to college or university got herself a master's degree, and where the fuck did she end up? Serving coffee at Starbucks for minimum wage.
Yeah, but I also think it's like there's something fundamentally wrong with the way that the jobs are distributed in all countries in this fucking world, because it seems to me that the only way that you can fucking make a living in this world is by fucking taking some fucking job as a server, basically, or some fucking service job where you serve people either coffee or fucking or fucking food or anything else.
Yeah, man. Because and also you step it up from there. Then it's also becoming if you're the right fit for the company, because it is
or you serve the fucking company in that sense. Yeah.
Because it's becoming more and more of that shit, because people want you to be extrovert, they want you to be loud, they want you to be likable, and most of all, they want you to have a motherfucking story to tell right when you come there.
Yeah.
If you so many fucking companies out there care more about this than your qualifications. Right, and that's of course, like the qualifications comes on top of this, but I feel like that's what's weighing right on you getting a job or not.
Yeah,
and this is like becoming an increasingly big problem, I believe, right?
Yeah,
because it is an unhealthy work culture that is like arising from this.
Yeah,
that I need to be this personality to please everybody at that workplace. If you know what I mean, right?
And what it should be really is just like more like, but maybe it also comes from the fact that these fucking jobs are so overpaid in a way, like. It's either you work a fucking loud ass job as a fucking extrovert when you fucking have the story of your fucking life to tell, and then you get paid like the big bucks for it, like fucking $200 an hour, or you get paid, or you're nobody and get paid nothing.
Yeah.
Like it's so it's like two extremes. It's like there's no middle way. There's no like fucking. There's no like a fucking job where you can just like fucking.
Yeah, yeah, I forgot to mention that they also want you to like be less than 30 years old, have a master's degree, and also a shit ton of experience before you get the job.
Yeah,
right?
but there's no fucking job where you can just like sweep the tables for like half the salary of the average salary in the country, like where you can just like work for $5 an hour and just sweep tables for 4 hours a day. This
is also, I keep going back, to the 1950s. As in the 1950s, this can also be collaborated by sources and shit if you Google it, or I can put it in the description for you listeners. In the 1950s, you would, with just a fucking high school diploma, be able to walk into the headquarters of Coca-Cola or McDonald's or whatever the fuck else big companies was at that time, and say, "Hello, I would speak to a manager. Yes, my name is Troy Trostrup, and I'm a hard worker, and I'm here with my high school diploma, and I'm looking for a job. Will you provide me with a job and give me the chance?" And you would 90% chance that you would just get a job, because right
there on the spot,
right there on the spot. Okay, kid, let's see what you got.
Yeah, because hands were needed back then. Hands are not needed right now. Because all that has something to do with overpopulation, but that's not the whole the whole truth to it. There's more to the problems today than overpopulation.
Yeah, it is also that unhealthy work culture that is arising.
Yeah.
And like the global capitalism,
but I feel
environment from that.
I also feel like we're getting kind of deorientated right now. We're getting a little unstructured right now, so maybe we should just like steer it towards the end here.
Okay, we can steer it towards the end. I just want to final note on that shit though. That governments needs to revise all motherfucking educations on universities and colleges. Figure out how big of a percentage of the graduate actually gets a job in what they were educated for after, and if not, they need to cut that shit, and then they need to come up with shit that will actually provide you with a job.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the solution.
Or instead of fucking cutting education, as you said, just revise the education. It's like fucking figure out how can we actually cut all the bullshit from the educations that actually matter, and fucking revise it to turn it into something that we can actually use. But then again, I'm going forth and back on this because the world also does need useless shit, and I do not say that lightly, because the world also in my opinion, the world needs art. The world needs art because if there's just structured that you have a bunch of people who do everything exactly to the point, then we turn into a robot society where there's no inspiration going on.
Yeah.
And so you need art in order to become inspired, So it is a fucking hair fine balance, man, in order not to turn into these fucking gray fucking zombie robots who just fucking do their jobs.
Yeah, it is. It is. But it's also finding something that you're happy doing, but time just flies by because you're so into the zone, right?
And the government needs to help those people find that spot, find that passion.
For sure.
That's what the government needs to fucking be able to do. But
for sure.
Yeah. And that's not always easy, man. That's a fucking complex fucking situation that none of us stalkers is gonna be able to figure out tonight.
like I said on the McAllister Hours podcast, you got to be careful because you could end up like Bosnia, and Bosnia has almost a 40% unemployment rate. 40%, man, and
Wow.
that's even like before the Corona crisis, like 38% or so. Still, holy shit!
Wow. Yeah.
Because the country was in shambles after that civil war ended almost 20 years ago,
Yeah.
right? And then they're like starting maybe to like rebuild themselves and shit, maybe a little bit, and then another fucking global financial crisis happens in 2008. And then like another step back from Bosnia, and then like maybe starting to pick themselves up a little bit, and then the Corona crisis, which is just yet another step backwards.
Oh wow. I mean,
So
talk about bad luck for a country right there.
yeah, yeah, like imagine that, man. Like if you live there will be a 40% chance that you would be unemployed and never get a job.
Damn,
Fucking
so terrible. Like there's many things that are bad in this world, but I truly think one of the worst things in this world, in this universe that we're living in, all of us as humans, is not being able to have a job. I mean that's
yeah.
even worse than prison, because in prison you have prison labor. You know.
Yeah,
So
yeah, man. I gotta like like I'm moving on from that subject a little bit, but yeah, I was like
why?
watching. Okay, no, like I don't know. I was a little bit confused. But yeah, in prison you have a prison labor, and you're like feeling a purpose. You're feeling a purpose, right?
Exactly.
And you have a routine. Somebody that like wakes you up at 7 a.m. or something and being like, everybody up for the count, you know.
Yeah,
And
exactly,
then
exactly. So maybe like, and I'm not saying like I want to go to prison or anything by no fucking means. I mean, they have no freedom in there, and they have to like like a lot of that things is restraint as well. But like, I'm just saying like. Maybe we can learn something from prisons actually,
I don't
especially Danish and Norwegian prisons, like
I don't know, man. Like, don't you think that there is like some old dude or something, right? Who's like laying down on his in his bunk bed or something in his cell, with his legs stretched out, looking in the roof and saying, "Yeah, prison was the best thing that ever happened to me."
yeah, but that's the point, man. Maybe that guy, maybe laying in that bed, like maybe the next day he has fucking painted a painting with the acetone from his fucking cleaning product, and then all of a sudden he's made a fucking painting that's worth $1 million.
That could also
And
happen,
I
I
mean
guess.
that. No, I mean, I'm just saying that's an extreme example, but that's an example of the spontaneity that is in art. You know, and
Yeah,
that then again that art in turn inspires people to do stuff in the rest of the world.
yeah,
So yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe we could learn something from the prisons, but I don't know. That's a discussion for
yeah.
another
Maybe,
day.
maybe, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, what else was it that I was going to say? I don't
We
know,
have to
like
we have to about like wrap it up now because
we have to wrap it up. Okay.
we're sneaking
Okay,
up on
man.
an hour.
Then, like, sorry for contradicting myself from the last episode, but thank you for watching this episode of The Corner. And if you liked what you were hearing, then please show a like button, comment, share, and subscribe. Subscribe, and subscribe
And
to this channel.
there's nothing wrong with underlining that, but like it's just like people can and I want to just give my opinion on this because I wrote this on a comment in in the last one where you talked with Victor, like how ironic it was that the first minute you just spent on fucking discussing this, and actually
Yeah.
that encouraged people to comment, like, and subscribe. But I don't think there's anything wrong with it. You know,
No, no.
it's cool. I mean, why not? Like, it's just like people make a lot of out of it, but as long as you do it in a creative way, then why the fuck not, man? It's just like
Yeah.
some people get annoyed by it because it takes a lot of their life to just listen to this. But then again,
Yeah.
you can just skip it when like that's what YouTube is all about. You can just fucking you have the arrow keys on your keyboard where you can just like press the right hand arrow key and you will skip like 10 seconds and that's it.
Yeah, you have that freedom.
Exactly. So there's no problem there, in my opinion. But then again, that's a discussion for another day, and that's every man's taste himself.
Yeah. Again, thanks for watching, or thanks for listening. You have any final words, Troy?
Yeah, no, you can. No, I'm good.
All right, then we'll just round it up here. See you guys later for another episode, folks.